If you're into woodworking, more than likely you've used pocket hole joinery. This is my first introduction into pocket hole joinery. It was my original Kreg Jig. It's probably 20 years old. Works as simply as putting the wood in, clamping it down, drilling the 2 holes, and you come up with perfect pocket hole screws. And the nice thing about this unit is you're able to take the wood, place it on the bed, pull down the handle, power drill comes up, makes a perfect pocket screw every single time. This was a game changer for me. I love it so much that I actually do not even use this anymore unless I'm building something that I'm not able to put it on the machine. But more than likely, if I'm doing pocket screws, I'm going to be using this machine. Now, there's some things that I've learned about this machine over the 10+ years that I've had it, and I thought I would share, and I'm gonna go through those now. So let's go. When you place the wood in the machine and pull down, this clamp holds it firmly in place while it drills on the backside. I've found you need to get this to the exact right depth, or you will either mar your workpiece with a dent, or the black can come off on your wood. I started putting tape on this little round holding piece, and I found it keeps the black rubber from not marring the workpiece. The next thing that is absolutely essential, and if you don't check this regularly, you'll find yourself buying a new bit, is that your bit, when you pull the handle all the way down, stays away from the fence. What can happen very easily is this adjustment knob on the back that adjusts how much the blade goes to the fence and stops, loosens over time. The more you use it, and we're doing a lot of pocket screws, it'll actually come loose to the point of that it will touch the fence. If this bit touches the fence, every single time it will break the little tip off the specialty bit. And not only is it bad to break a bit, normally you can't find these in stores that even stock Kreg in the big box stores. You have to order it because it has the hex end on the end of it. So I always keep, another tip is I always keep an extra one in the storage compartment on the side, because you always break it when you're in the middle of a project. You need to do a lot of pocket holes. So the thing that I do to countermeasure hitting the back of this fence is, one, I check it regularly without anything in it just to make sure it's not drifted. And the other thing is this nut is plastic on the back. Once you get it to where it needs to be, you can take channel locks or pliers and really crank it down pretty tightly, and it will keep it from doing that. The next tip that I'll share, as a left-hander, I was first bothered by the handle that requires you to grab with your right and press with your thumb to pull it down. Because a lot of times, and I'm not sure it's just even left or right-handed people, but I like to sometimes hold with this hand, sometimes hold with this hand. And this doesn't allow you to do that. But I have found when you want to use your left hand, you can hit the trigger with your palm and pull down, and it will work for left-handed. This is something that I suspect they'll change if they ever do a model change on the Foreman. The next tip that I'll share is when working on large work pieces, like say cabinet panels, it's really handy to build a box that's 7.5 inches tall. And that box will allow you to put this as far away, and even panels as long as 8 feet, you can slide them in without having to balance them on top of this workpiece. I do like how big the workpiece is. For smaller face frames, it's easy. You don't need any extra support. But whenever you're using a big panel, this really comes in handy. I take this out in my van when I'm working mobily. I use this out in the field. That's why this looks pretty rough. It's been rained on. It's been beat up pretty bad. But this actually has a home in my shop, and that's my next tip. I'm going to show you how to make it be at home in the shop. This is where my Foreman lives most of the time. It sits back out of the way, tucked onto my long bench that I use for my miter saw station. And what's nice with this is when I want to use it, I just slide it out and it stays out of the way of my miter saw, and I can take larger pieces, even up to big panels, and I can slide them in, do my pocket holes, then actually slide it back into place. Stays out of the way. It's perfectly flush on both sides. And this works great. I've been using it this way for years. Another benefit is I don't use the dust collection hose on the back of the port. I just keep it open, have a trash can that sits under here. It catches a majority of the sawdust whenever I'm doing even a lot of pocket holes. These black plastic pieces act as stops, and they're intended to be put on the guides so that you can slide your workpiece up on both sides and center your pocket holes. I have found these to be more in the way than to help. I actually don't use them at all. What I do instead is when I'm doing a cut, I'll look on, for example, here 1 inch here, and I'll do 1 inch here. That gets it very, very close. The thing is, most of the time, or all times for me, no one's going to see my pocket holes anyway, so there's no need to spend too much time making sure they're exactly. They just need to be generally in the right place. And by using the measuring scale on each side, you can eliminate the black plastic, which tend to get knocked out off with larger pieces anyway. I've also had them cause a problem where I thought I was against the fence and it was holding it out. So that's a really big tip. Make sure you don't even use those unless you like them. That's just my own feedback. For new Kreg Foreman owners, I hope this video is really helpful. And for existing Kreg Foreman owners, let me know in the comments if there's other things that you found that's helpful about using the machine. I look forward to hearing from you all, and be sure to subscribe for more tools, techniques, videos coming up in the near future.